Hello and welcome back to Slide 2, Band of Thieves. Having just freed Slide from out of prison, I think it's only appropriate to start collecting some more bottles again. Because as a reminder, you can access the safe in this level at any point you wish from the very beginning, so there's no reason to wait on this. Now I'd like to start the topic of today with actually some backtracking, because there's a couple of things I'd like to mention about the previous chapter. First and foremost, Rajan actually has an attack that he never used. I have never experienced going through that boss fight without him ever using it, but he has an attack where he raises his staff up in the air and shoots it down on the ground, causing all the water around to conduct electricity. You can avoid this either by doing a well-timed jump right before he hits the ground or by staying on one of the lily pads, as they don't conduct electricity. Secondly, I'd like to mention the detail that going back to chapter 3 now, after the gang has been imprisoned, actually doesn't change anything. Slide and Murray are still gonna be perfectly playable in all the previous missions. I guess the idea is that canonically, when you go back to previous missions, you don't actually go from being in Prague to being in India. You just sort of do the India all in one. Canonically, just, I don't know, maybe just splits the timeline or something, I don't know. As I said, that's all in the past, it doesn't matter anymore. We much more like to live in the present. And I'm very glad I get to talk about the present because, yes! Finally we got to this place. I love Prague, just so you know. It's a really cool atmosphere. I love the overall design with the rundown town and prison and everything. The story beats leading up to this are great, and there's just a lot of really good things I could say about this level, but I think I'd like to instead try and actually stay on topic for one of these segments for once. So, collecting the bottles here is really not a problem in the slightest. I feel like this level really emphasizes what I've said before about having very distinct locations with lots of checkpoints and landmarks and things that you can latch onto as waypoints of some sort. I feel like in this level, it's easier than ever before to really systemize your bottle collecting, separating the level into different chunks and searching them thoroughly before moving on to the next one. I mean, this is something I would say is a valid tip for any of the levels in the whole game, but I feel like it's just easier now than it's been ever before. And keeping that in mind, I didn't actually know the numbers to this when collecting the bottles, but there are 21 bottles outside the prison and 9 on the inside. Although I believe in the footage you see here, I actually collected only 19 before going into the prison, thinking that that was enough, and then realized later on that there were actually 2 more outside. But even then, the level is so well designed and easy to traverse and search around in that finding the last one, even when I had no idea whether it was even on the inside or outside the prison, it really wasn't a chore at all, and it wasn't even particularly... Like, I'm not gonna say it was easy with a sort of negative connotation. It was easy in the sense that it was by all means well hidden, and it took me some time to find it, but I always felt like I had this system I can go to, where I would search thoroughly through different segments. For instance, making sure to fully search all the rooftops on the fence surrounding the prison, making sure to check the entire train track, all the different cliffs that can lead to entrances to the prison. There's so much room for mental notes and things that you never feel lost. And you never feel like you're just going through the same areas over and over again because you're again getting lost. That's at least something that I can sometimes struggle with. That's pretty much what I want to say when it comes to collecting the bottles. So instead, I guess we can talk about something completely different, because I do have a few topics of discussion I'd like to bring up. And I guess one thing I particularly like in this level is the music. You've probably noticed up to this point that the soundtrack to this game is vastly different from the first game. There's been a very different style change, and I believe there's been a new composer, most importantly. Sly 1 has a different composer from all the subsequent games, if I'm not mistaken. And I really gotta say, that was a good freaking decision. Because, first of all, just from a boring, completely theoretical and technical standpoint, I think it's just a lot better and more interestingly written. More diversely written as well. A lot of the music in Sly 1 felt very samey, and it was kinda... You'd listen to the soundtrack, you'd hear 5 different themes and think, didn't these all play in the first level? Like, wasn't this the same? There's a lot more variety to the music in Sly 2, and in a game that's all about traversing the entire world all around the globe and seeing different cultures and people, I feel like it should be kind of a given that the music should also reflect that, and in this game it really does. In Paris, you had the cheesy kind of spyish music with the classic French accordions, oh la la, and very, very distinct and kind of stereotypical French, with only, you know, of course only tongue-in-cheek intentions when I use the word stereotypical. And then the jungles of India had practically no music at all. There was a lot of percussion and a lot of just atmosphere and natural sounds, not really that much music to be honest, but the soundtrack is just very different from what you may be used to from, say, a Nintendo soundtrack. Like, think about Mario music. Pretty much all the music in games like those are very standalone and work as individual pieces that don't necessarily need to be a part of a thing. But this game has a very different approach where music is more so very specifically made, if that makes sense. Whereas the Mario music I mentioned a second ago, you could just have on your phone and listen to for the hell of it. I mean, I do that. But it's not necessarily going to be the same experience listening to Sly Cooper soundtracks, because they're much more backgroundy, I guess is a word to use. And this is by no means a better or worse thing than the Mario comparison I made. It's just different. It works in a very different way, and I think in a game like this it works very effectively, because this is a very cinematic and story-based game. I feel like if you would put some of the, let's say, some of the creepy ghost house music in a Mario game into Frog Hair, I think that would be very distracting and weird. I don't think that would fit at all. Wow, you'd think for how many years I've studied music I'd be able to express myself better with that, but I don't know. Keeping things simple is often the most effective. And hey, I guess with that, we've gotten all the bottles. So what do we get for doing all this?
You need an IQ of at least 140 to figure this one out. That Contessa is smarter than I'd thought. I believe the code is 248.
Well, I would just say myself what this move is called, as I often do. But the clip of Bentley exclaiming it is particularly strangely accentuated in this one, so I'll let him take the wheel for this one.
You've gotten the long toss move!
I don't know, he just always sounded really weird to me in that one. Now, if there's one negative thing I can say about this level, it's that after a certain point it feels a little bit, shall I say, monogamous. Like, this is kind of ridiculous. We have 5 missions, and they're all Sly missions. It's kind of crazy. It's a little bit... It can seem like this is going to be kinda boring and kinda repetitious, being only about Sly and all, but honestly, I think you'll see soon that it really is more varied than it might seem at first glance. So first off...
Okay, Sly. In order to get Murray out, we'll need him to get thrown into solitary confinement. That pipe will lead you to his cell block. Try to locate him and relate the plan. After that, it's all up to Murray.
All right, I'm headed inside.
Exactly. If you're worried about playing too much as Sly, why don't we go and save Murray?
Psst, Murray. Hey, Murray.
Huh? Sly? Where are you?
Over here, in the back wall.
Sly! I'm so glad to see you. They've been forcing me to eat meals covered in spice, and I'm feeling kind of strange. You gotta get me out of here.
No problem. Bentley seems to have found a weakness in the solitary confinement cell. If you can get in a big enough fight, the guards will throw you in there. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience.
Well, if you say so. I suppose a powerful force like the Murray could take down 50 foes. If I had to.
Excellent. You beat the snot out of 50 of those guys, and Bentley and I will take care of the rest.
Indeed, it may seem like we only have Sly things to do, but here we have Murray in the action. We have one simple objective, and thus this is a very open mission. We have 50 asses we need to kick, and a wide variety of ways to do so. And as such, what is the best way to tackle this? Are we gonna lift up guards and throw them at other ones to make the shockwave from the Juggernaut throw, creating these chains after chains of guards being knocked down and thrown at each other and things? Or maybe do we just use the Fist of Flame and knock them all out in one fell swoop? Maybe you'll even want to create shockwaves just with the normal jump and slam with the belly kind of move. Well, you can probably already tell by this point that the best way of tackling this, at least in my opinion, is honestly just mash the normal attack button. Because, honestly, Murray is just stupid strong. Like, you have a decently wide arsenal of things that you can do, but there's just no need to, because just the normal attacks take down any enemy in 2 hits. And if you ever need a quick heal, you can always go back into your cell and smash on the things that you can find there. Usually you're going to find something in the toilet, for example, or in the sink or whatever. Only one there that time. Oh, camera, hey!
My unstoppability is supreme!
Bad timing to say that, Murray. But yeah, as you can imagine, this is a somewhat tedious process. 50 guys is a lot, even if you're being the most efficient you can be. And as such, I guess we'll break up the tedium a little bit with Hyperspeed Go! The Thunderflop knows no boundaries!
50! Eat that, you incarcerating suckers! Is that antisocial enough for ya? Oh, what? You gonna throw me in solitary? Bring it on!
How can you not love that guy? He's so good. He's so sweet and so strong. With Murray's part of the plan into motion, I think it's a good idea that we start trying to find our way into the prison.
Sly, I need your help getting a handle on the Contessa's encryption algorithm.
I'd love to, pal, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, I'll explain it to you one piece at a time. See that security station? The guard nearby is responsible for its upkeep.
I'm with you.
First, I'll need you to pickpocket his key to the terminal.
Sure, no problem.
Then use it on the security station to set off the alarm.
Hold up. You want me to set off the alarm?
Yeah, set it off, then clear out as the guard's sure to come running. Once he sees that it's a false alarm, he'll input the code to turn it off.
So you want me to take a picture of the code?
Move to a safe place and get a clean shot of that digital readout.
Should I hit all the security stations out here?
That's right. Once I've got a large enough sample of the Contessa's codes, I should be able to crack her encryption algorithm.
Now, see, you lost me again.
Just take the pictures. I'll handle the rest.
Oh, I get it. The reason Bentley's tutorials are so ridiculously long is because Sly doesn't understand shit. He's kinda dumb. Anyway, we have a mission here. It starts out pretty simple. Just steal the key, normal procedure, but do not kill the guard. Because this is where the sometimes kind of annoying parts comes up. We unlock the alarm, however that works, I don't really get what that's supposed to do, I don't know. But now the alarm is set off. And Bentley is saying something or other, but as usual it's best to just ignore him. The guard is going to go and check out what's going to happen. And I don't understand how this is supposed to be secure in any way, but dude, go do your job. That's right. When he types in the code, said code is displayed on that screen for everyone to see. It's kind of stupid. Bentley commented on Contessa being smarter than I thought, but I don't know about this. This is kind of ridiculous. Anyway, we have four actually of these alarm systems that we need to just go ahead and trigger and shit. So nearest one seems to be right here. Now the reason this can be somewhat annoying and a little bit finicky is because these screens can occasionally be a bit difficult to get a good view of. Like, this is not a good example because here you can very easily see that you're supposed to stand here and get a perfectly good view. But later on, I'll show the example when I get to it. There's one in particular that I find to be quite annoying. Now this guy, you could use the skill that's purchasable for Sly in the Thief Net to do this, but it's much easier to just kind of go on the side of him and do like that. And then, to get him away, I guess we can just sort of make some noise, like that. He didn't even go the way of the noise. What a fucking good guy at his job. Unlock the alarm, start it off. That barrel in the corner right there, I believe you can actually sit in and hide in. I don't think that's something I've ever used. I don't really get the point of it. It's not really useful. But how about you just go ahead and do your job now? You didn't hear anything. You're just going crazy. Why does he refuse to just go straight over like that? He insists on taking these tracks the long way around. Of course, he's not exactly, let's say, quick on his feet. He's a fucking bird. You'd think he could just fly or something. These birds never fly. They just sort of jump and flap around. What a sorry excuse for a bird. Anyway, camera in position. Just go ahead and hurry up, please. There we go. Now for the penultimate key, giving us access to the penultimate alarm system. I don't know if you can tell, but penultimate is a fun word to use. There's one little detail wow, that's a difficult word, that you might not think about, and it's that the keys are actually, what am I saying, not context sensitive, but like, you know, lock sensitive. The keys only fit to the respective locks, as in you can't go to the one bird and go to a completely different alarm. I know this because the last time I played this, I got a key from a bird, the one over that way, thinking it's connected to this alarm, when it just didn't, and I didn't understand why it wouldn't do anything, and then suddenly I noticed this bird and everything was explained. Speaking of the last bird, how about we go that way? You may be the bird here, but I'm the one taking advantage of the air! As such... And the alarm system should be on the back side of the house, so how about we try and... Oh shit, I just got caught, didn't I? I'll just go on the roof there. Actually, that's just fine because the bird got distracted, so now I can... Oh boy, he didn't get distracted for very long. Now this is the more annoying of the alarm systems, because there's pretty much only one place you can look at this from, and it's really kind of an annoying trek to get to. I might actually want to recommend instead having the bird even further away from the system before activating it, because you need to go all this way over to the cliff here before you can see the screen, because from pretty much any other side that I've seen, you're not going to be able to see all the numbers.
Nice work, partner.
And I ignored Bentley again, but isn't that usually how we do things? Ignore the Bentleys. Ignore the Bennies. With that though, I think that's pretty much good progress. We have set Murray's part of the plan into motion. We've set the coding plan into motion. I say next time, we get into some more explosive action. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you then.